Hey, Pathfinders, how's it going? What's going on? It's your girl, Deborah the Queen, the host of Light the Path podcast. And I got another good episode for you. So make sure that you are subscribed on all social media platforms and also here on YouTube. You are, if you're inclined, I would love for you to subscribe and put the notification bell on. You do that, you'll be notified every time a new episode is loaded. And look, you're not going to get inundated with ding, 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 ding. Once a week, a new podcast episode will be available to you. But look, I got another great episode for you. You are going to absolutely love this one. Listen, today's conversation is for the woman who feels like time has passed, but something inside her is still calling for more. Could that be you? If it's not you and it's somebody that you love, I want you to pause this, send it to them, and come on back. This podcast today, the title is Before 50, Everything Changed. Now, I know some of us, me, I'm waiting for that big milestone 50, but look, before 50, everything changed for our guest. Joining me today is Amey DeAnne. She is a 3-time Amazon best-selling author who didn't fully discover herself until just before turning 50, when a life-altering moment shifted everything. What could have broken her became the beginning of a healing journey she never realized she needed. Could that be you? If not, it could be someone that you love. Press pause again, send it to them, and come on back because I have Amey DeAnne, because now she's helping women step into their most authentic lives no matter when their journey starts. Pathfinders, help me welcome Amey to Light the Path podcast.
Hey there.
Hello. So thankful to have you here. So glad. I can't wait to hear this. I got all these questions. I'm like, ooh, let me get these questions because I want to know more. I
Well,
want to
thanks
know
for
more
having me.
before I turn 50.
It's a whole new world.
Yes. I mean, because I thought for me, when I turned 30, that was like my age. And then I was like 30 for like 3 years. I kept saying, oh, I'm 30. I didn't want to let it go. And then so my daughter's like, Mom, you got to stop saying that because then people are going to start adding my age.
Right.
So now that I'm on the other side of that, I am looking forward to 50. So I can't wait to hear more about what happened in your life because before that life altering moment, how would you describe the version of yourself you were living as before this event happened?
Living vicariously through my kids. I got married early. I had kids early, which was a huge blessing. I had wonderful kids. They were involved in sports. My son wrestled. My daughter played softball. We traveled the U.S. for their sports, and I lived vicariously through them. And for that part, I probably would never ever change. Even if I knew who I was back then, I would never have changed living vicariously through them and being there for every single moment.
Amey, are we twins? Are we living the same lives? What is this?
Would not be related.
Ooh, so you mentioned a life altering event that changed everything for you. What happened and how did that impact you in that moment? And share as much as you're comfortable sharing.
Sure. I went through a divorce after 29 years of being married. It was devastating. I didn't want it. It was kind of one of those kicking and screaming kind of things. I didn't like it, but it turned out to be a blessing.
So many women, oh Lord, can relate to this. Somebody's over there listening like, wait, she's telling my story. After that moment, what was the first truth you had to face about yourself that maybe you have been avoiding?
Well, when I was alone in my apartment, the first thing I had to figure out is what the heck do I even want to eat if I'm by myself? What do I want to do? Because I don't even know. I've been catering to people's menu. I've been doing this, which again I would never ever change. But what do I even want to do? And then I really had to take a hard look at myself and figure out what is my part in this? It doesn't just happen. It takes two to tango, as people say. It doesn't matter if who's right, who's wrong, whatever. What is my part and why? Why did I have an issue?
That's so good. Personal accountability. That's good. That helps with personal growth when you can say, hey, I had a part to do with that. And I think that is very courageous to say that, because a lot of times it's easier, if we're telling the truth, to point it at somebody else.
Sure.
So I
Absolutely.
think that is very courageous for you to say that and say, hey, I had something to do with this. What did your healing journey actually look like behind the scenes, beyond what people could actually see?
Ooh. I had a punching bag, and often I would punch and kick that until I got bruises on my feet. I threw things. I broke some stuff. I actually did all kinds of things. And this was the start of the pandemic. So I was by myself. Nobody cared. Nobody cared what I was doing. So I did a lot of different things. I did a lot of healing modalities. I walked the lake near where I lived. But yeah, I had an anger phase where it's like, this is really therapeutic. I'm just going to just get out there and just break stuff. And I did. And I also slipped into a bit of a depression. And so I think that's probably normal given the circumstances. But yeah, I think you go through phases like that where it's like, you're really mad and you're really hurt and then you're really sad. And so I think it's a combination. But those are probably some of the things. I tried to always keep a smile. I'm a glass half full kind of girl. So I didn't let people know I was breaking stuff. I didn't let people know I was punching the punching bag or whatever. So.
Yes, because psychologists say that divorce is like a death, because it's a death of, what you thought. And so you do go through a grieving period. And those things that you explain, anger, frustration, depression, that is all part of the phases of grief. And I mean, there's no line for line, but you can cycle back to one and not the another. So
yeah,
that is really not uncommon. It's really
no, exactly. I think it's very common. And I think sometimes it's almost, I won't say it's worse, because it's devastating when you lose someone to a death, but it's, the person is living over here. And so you're mourning and you're grieving the relationship and the person that you were. I was this way over here. I'm not that way anymore. So it is very different.
It is very different. I mean, and that's true. You actually, and then you also, well, not always see another person walking around, but part of them is walking around your kids. You like, you acting like you, oh, never mind.
Right.
That's not me. Surely that is not my attribute. That's somebody else.
That's right. Exactly.
So yeah, it is very difficult. I remember after my divorce, I went to what they call a smash room. So that's why I'm saying I think we're like twins or something, like this mirror things that go on. But it's called the smash room. So you can buy items there, but you can also bring your own. So you can bring picture frames, or you can bring, your own glasses or whatever, and then you just rock out to some music. You put on all this protective gear, okay? You rock out to all, heavy metal, like screaming.
That's awesome.
And you just smack. And I said, I did not know, because at first I'm like, I don't have any rage. Like,
oh yes, you do.
I'm not angry about this. I got to smash your stuff, Amey, and I started feeling better.
You will. Sometimes I tell people it's not a very good analogy, but I'm a Medea fan. And so in the Medea movie, one of her movies, and she's in the closet, and the husband and the wife have their thing, and she's like, rip it. You're like, you want to rip the clothes, you want to cut stuff in half, you want to do all of this. And you go through that. And it's actually therapeutic. Really
it is therapeutic, instead of us holding it in, because like toddlers, they have tantrums, they fall out, but then we condition them. Hey, you can't do that. We need to do that sometimes. We need to get a pillow, not even screaming. I'm just screaming out loud.
Right. Exactly.
So that's very good. Now that you're living more authentically, what feels different in your life today?
I don't care what people think. And I do what I want. And I do what I want. my kids were adults when I got a divorce. So that's, that was good. And that was, that was helpful. But I don't ask for permission. If I want to go spend the night somewhere or go get a hotel down the street, like one time my electricity went out and I just stayed on the Rockville Harbor and I stayed in the hotel and, got my wine and did my work and did whatever I wanted to. So it's much more freeing now that you're living authentically, now that you're, you're alone and you don't really have to answer to anyone. Not that that's necessarily good or bad, but it's different. It's definitely different.
Mm-hmm. For the woman that's listening who feels like time has passed her by and she still hasn't fully stepped into who she's meant to be, what would you say to her today?
In my book, Finding Your Truest You, I go through these steps of things that I offer as suggestions. And, the first thing is trust in yourself. Trust your gut instincts. Trust, the little person on your shoulder. Trust trust what you're feeling. The next thing is recognizing you're not on the same journey as everybody else. You're on a different journey. May take you 10 years to get over your situation. It may take you a few months. You're on a different journey. And then I tell people, you've got to unlearn your negative mindset. You're programmed in your head, whether you had a good, bad, or indifferent relationship, you're programmed that negative mindset, and even if your relationship wasn't someone that was telling you were a bad person, that's what you feel. That's what you kind of internalize. That's what that's kind of what you made out to be of the situation. So unlearning negative mindset is crucial. And then embracing authenticity, because if you don't know who you are at your core and what you want and what feels good or all those things, then you're going to have a hard time finding the right person out there. You're going to have a hard time relating to someone else. The other thing I tell people is stay the course. Stay the course. Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. Sometimes it's going to get frustrating. You're going to take a little detour. You're going to take a fork in the road. You're going to, you're going to do all these things, but stay on it. That's, one of the things that I tell people. The other thing I say is take your time. There's no rush. There is no formula. There is no, hey, I've got to do this in a year. I've got, take your time. Take your time and know that you're healed before you jump into another situation, because you're only going to bring your baggage with you. You're only going to bring the situations with you. The next thing I tell people is yesterday's gone. It's gone. So move forward. Move forward, because the shoulda, coulda, woulda back here is not going to serve you. It's not going to help you. It's not going to, you can do that all day long. Oh, I should have done this. I should have said this way. I should have, whatever it is, you can do that all day long. And then the next to the last thing I say is open your mind to challenges and changes, because you're going to face them. You're going to face them, whether it's getting on the dating apps or whether it's, scary stuff like that. Whatever it is, you are going to face challenges and changes, because things are different. For me, I was turning 50 and it was very different. Life was different. The way you dated people was different. The way you met people was different.
Yes.
So the last thing I tell people is understand your purpose. Know that there's a reason for this. It's not just, because, the man upstairs wants you to go through something terrible. There is a reason. There's a reason, whether you're paying it forward, whether you're teaching someone else, whether you're helping them through the muck and the myrrh. Understand what it's there for and what your purpose is.
So many great points. Listen, let everyone know where they can connect with you, where they can get your book also, so that way they can get all these good nuggets all in one place.
Absolutely. My website is my-resilient-journey.com. On Facebook and Instagram, it's Amey DeAnne, AmeyDeAnne. And also Resilient, RESILIENT.TX, because I'm here in Texas, on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Listen, Pathfinders, I will make sure I put all her information right down in the description box, so that way you can just point and click, get the book, connect with Amey DeAnne. Thank you so much for being on Light the Path podcast. I absolutely enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Pathfinders, remember that sharing our experiences is not only empowering, it can help light the path.